right. Everybody, welcome to the presentation. And howdy to you. Hopefully you're having a good day wherever you are in this beautiful world. Just double checking, making sure everything is good, making sure that's good, make sure that's good. All right. It all looks good. So here we are, folks. Happy Saturday to you. We'll appreciate you being here, everybody. Yeah, it is Saturday. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt, Robbie. We definitely do. For those of you who do not know, so tonight is open mic night. And this is basically a night where we just have a good time. We just relax. For those who don't follow me and who keep telling me that I need to start teaching about Jesus, well, you need to start showing up at Bible study, because I've been here for 4 or 5 years now. So I have Bible study every Sunday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also have night prayer that I've been doing for 20 years. Night prayer Monday through Friday, and that's at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the website, by the way, is it's up and running. So you can go to usocc.org, and if you click on the night prayer link, all the scripture reflection readings are there. The night prayer scripts are there. It's the same night prayer scripts we normally use. The Bible study links are up there as well for this Sunday and for next Wednesday. So now, if you want to know about my faith, about the faith of the community, you need to go to the website, usocc.org. So if you keep asking, are you Catholic, when we've already told you a million times, usocc.org. That's your answer. Yes, it's all there. Just go to our church's website. If you want to go to my website, bishopjameslong.com. bishopjameslong.com. So, yep. So hello. So basically, here's what happens. So for those of you who, no, we would certainly love to have more brick and mortar churches. You're more than welcome to, open your pocketbook and make a donation if you like. We'll be happy to accept the brick and mortar buildings. Happy to accept them. No one's done that yet, but that's interesting. So anyway, my website again, bishopjameslong.com. Now, here's how we're going to operate this. Right now, we have the chat open for everybody on TikTok. But if the trolls continue to act like pestilent children, then I'll put sub chat only for the entire show. And I won't give it a second thought. Because, again, until TikTok fixed the trolling issue, that's how we're going to address it. So there's just so much trolling on TikTok, and TikTok refuses to fix it. I don't know why. I just don't know why they don't fix it. They need to. This is why a lot of creators have left TikTok, unfortunately, because they don't do anything about the trolls. They just don't. And I'm getting tired of dealing with it. And so a lot of creators have already left TikTok for that very reason. This is why I'm really looking forward to the Neptune app, because they're going to have human moderators that will actually determine, the people who are falsely reporting and all this other stuff and trolling, they will absolutely block people's accounts immediately. So they're not going to tolerate that nonsense. 3.5 is also a very good app that I'm looking forward to as well. 3.5 is almost identical, by the way, for those of you who don't know, it is identical to TikTok. It's the number 3 and 5 is spelled out. So that looks really good. It's really, I don't know if there's much difference between that and TikTok. I mean, it almost looks identical. So yeah, and you're right. And the mods here in this community here that we have, they don't put up with nonsense at all. Because we're adults here, and we don't like the nonsense. We just don't like toxic people. We don't want toxic people here. So for those of you who are new, what we do on a Saturday night is, in a moment, I'll bring on Miss Judy Ann and Miss Wilma. We'll have a good time. We're having a good conversation. We tell jokes. We just try to put a smile on your face, because life is already stressful as it is. So we try to help, because I think we all need that, certainly right now in our lives. And by the way, I just want to say this very quickly. If you're going around telling people that they need to convert to Roman Catholicism, you're not Roman Catholic. I just want to let you know that. You're actually not Roman Catholic yourself. because Pope Francis stated that when you do that, you are committing a grave sin against ecumenism. And those are the words that he used, a grave sin. So you're kind of telling on yourself, because if you're truly a Roman Catholic, then you follow the pontiff's teachings. Well, he said don't do that. So if you're going around doing that, you're really not a practicing Roman Catholic at all. So just a little heads up there for those of you who continue to put that little zingers in there. You're not dealing with a 4-year-old, who has no education in Catholicism. But nonetheless, a grave sin. And yes, speaking of Pope Francis, I do have a very good friend of mine. He is a priest in Rome. And now the story has hit. But yeah, it's the Pope. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you there, Lynn. The Pope is in grave condition, critical condition. And the Vatican recently made a statement that it appears that death may seem to be imminent. So, look, whether or not you acknowledge the Pope as your Pope, it doesn't matter. I think he's a good man. And I think he has fought his entire life fighting for the impoverished and for corruption in government. And he putting himself at serious risk, certainly when he was a cardinal and even a bishop, he put himself at some in serious risk. I don't. Tex Mason, I actually have friends that are Freemasons, and they're wonderful. So anyway, regardless of what your faith is, let's just certainly keep him in your thoughts and prayers, because the Lord knows, he's what, 88 years old or so, and he's got some serious health issues. So, but anyway, that's how we're going to do it. And by the way, later on tonight, we are going to bring up the moderators, and we will have a conversation just about TV shows and maybe some superstitions that we talked about yesterday. So we should be looking forward to it. Hopefully you are as well. And here we go. And Mr. Producer has pushed the button. Yep. That's how I don't push the buttons. Mr. Producer pushes the buttons. I know Miss Wilma was. All right. Hello, Miss Wilma and Judy Ann.
Hi, Bishop Long. Hi, Judy Ann. Hi, Mr. Producer. Hope everyone's having a great night tonight.
Oh, yeah. I was having a fine night until Mr. Producer pushed that button. Hello, Judy Ann. How are you doing?
Well, I'm happy to be here this evening, and welcome everybody. Hello, Miss Wilma. And
Hi, sweetie.
we're going to have a good time. I think we're going to be a little more lively than we were last week. We had those storms, and we had to cut out early, and I think tonight we're going to be discussing favorite TV shows when we bring all of us moderators up. Is that correct?
Yeah, later on after we close out, this probably around the 9 o'clock hour or so, we'll talk about favorite television shows and just having a good conversation tonight. Of course, Miss Wilma, guys, look, I'm a little tired today, okay? I'm a little tired. I've had a long day. So if we're going to tell the jokes, we've got to really knock it out of the ballpark. Okay, we have to, because the studio audience is not going to participate.
Excuse me. Judy Ann and I do fantastic jokes.
Well,
Miss Wilma, turn your microphone off. Wilma, turn your microphone off.
Turn my microphone off. Am I too loud?
I'm sorry,
Is
everybody.
it hurting your ears? What's going on?
No, you were in the bathroom and we heard the commode flush, and you forgot to turn your microphone off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I turned my microphone off on the way back.
Goodness.
I was panicking like.
It's too early in the show. It's
I don't know what my phones are going to have microphone.
Was that a double flush I heard?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was, honey.
See, you just admitted it. You were in the bathroom. She said, was that a double flush? She heard. And Wilma, you just said, yes, it was, honey. You just admitted you were in the restroom.
Because you pushed your button twice.
No, I didn't push my buttons No, you're the one who, you know what, Wilma, just next time, please,
I'm in the living room. I promise.
Well,
I'm in the living room.
And that's why, and when you're in Kentucky, you just let her rip right there in the living room. It don't matter where you are, by God. I'm right in the middle of my living room, and I just go, huh?
Didn't do that.
You do that. You do that all the time. You do that.
I didn't do that. I do it.
I'm telling you, boy, she's woo. And boy,
Oh,
Wilma was flirting with Mr. Producer yesterday. I mean, she was flirting big time.
flirting with him.
She was saying, "Hey there, hunka hunka burning love." She was actually singing Elvis's hunka hunka burning love songs, like Wilma.
I just said hi to him.
Yeah. Oh, hi. I don't know if I can use my microphone. Can you help me?
Did not say
This is what I deal with. That's what I deal with. And Mr. Producer is just like, "Oh, what did you do to me, Bishop Long? What did you do to me?" So, well, how's everybody
it's okay,
doing?
Miss Producer, we know, don't we? That he's a aggravating it.
Now, first of all, how are you? Thank you, Jack. Jack's Paranormal says he heard it. See,
He did. I saw
Jack
that.
heard what?
Jack heard you flirting with the
Heard
Mr.
you do.
Producer.
Oh,
I
I
wasn't
thought you were
flirting with him,
Josh.
Jack, on it.
Oh yeah,
I was
yeah,
just saying hi to him.
yeah. I am
Now,
from the
just a
Craig.
second. Didn't you ask me if I had the producer's phone number and if I could slip it to you?
Wilma, Wilma,
Hey, what's going on? You're supposed to be on my side.
Wilma.
Help me out there, girlfriend.
Oh,
Don't get it worse.
Jack's Paranormal.
Oh, my God.
Wait a minute. Jack's Paranormal says that he was blushing. Well, because the flirting was so bad. Wilma, you dirty bird.
Yeah.
He's not flirting.
This is a family-friendly show. I mean,
Oh, my stars, Mr. Producer.
keep your extracurricular
You know what?
activities outside.
We know. There wasn't, I just said hi. There wasn't nothing to it. And I did say that, last night when I was talking about when Bishop Long and Mr. Producer were doing a great job of getting all the, equipment, the lights and everything ready. And I was thinking the both of you, but yeah, there was no flirting.
All right. For those of you who are new, if you've never been to the Saturday show, look, here's what we do, guys. Because I know some of you are thinking, what in the hello is going on? All right. It's simple. For a little while, we're just going to tell some jokes. We're just going to have a good time. We're just going to laugh. We're just trying to because life is too damn stressful. And so not everything has to be about demons and possession and all this other. That's not, I mean, we can't focus on all this negativity. We also have got to remember to smile. And I have got to remember that because I usually take life very, very seriously.
Bishop Long,
What?
you just said, Bishop Long, excuse me, but you just said you don't want us to be stressful, right? Well, what do you think you're doing to me and Mr. Producer? You're putting stress on it.
First of all, I'm not going to have any more conversation with you while you're in the bathroom. That's number one. You need to get out of the bathroom because I'm not having a conversation with you
I'm
anymore.
not in the bathroom.
Okay, so as long as we're establishing that, because that kind of freaks me out a little bit. I
I'm in
mean,
the living room. I'm
you-
not in the bathroom.
8 o'clock, we got to be, here. I'm telling you guys, that's what happens. Oh, by the way, for those of you who have a birthday, wish you had a birthday, want to have a birthday, or just like to have a birthday, there you go. This is for you. And we're going to do this. Everybody sing along. Miss Wilma, you know the words. I mean, you had 100 of them. Here we go. Come on, Wilma. You've had 100. You're familiar with them. Second verse, just like the first verse.
Happy birthday to you and many more.
The song is still going. You can't sing it many more. I'm sorry. For those of you who've had a birthday or having a birthday, I humbly apologize that Miss Wilma ruined that. Just butchered it. What'd you do?
Many more.
You ruined that, Miss Wilma. That's what you did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
I did not.
Yeah, it's all good in the neighborhood. All right, Miss Wilma and
That's
Judy
right.
Ann, let's go. Let's start this show out with knock this out. Knock this right out of the park with a good.
Okay,
a good
here we
joke.
go. Here we
Okay.
go. There's Judy Ann, we got our good ones. We always do, by the way.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
We try.
What has ears but can't hear?
what has ears? Wow.
I'm getting booed. and I
Man,
ain't
they
done
are
my
rough
button yet.
tonight. My
You're
gosh.
pushing the button.
Hold on. No, I am
Pushing that
not.
boo button. You're pushing the boo button.
I'm waiting for you to tell me the joke. I'm pushing no buttons. All right. What's the thing? So what's the joke again? It was so good, I forgot it.
You said that was so good.
It was
Thank
yeah.
you. Everybody heard that.
And the second part, it was so no. And the second part to it was so good, I forgot it. Hint, hint. It wasn't good. So okay.
Oh, what has ears but can't hear?
What has ears but can't hear? All right, Judy Ann, do you know?
I do not.
Please tell us. We're dying to hear.
Cornfield.
Yeah, I knew it was corn.
He
I
has
knew it.
ears.
No.
Ears. I bet this producer likes it.
You have a thing for Mr. Producer.
I agree, Mr. Producer. I agree. I
I gotta
agree.
get him laughing because Mr. Parker thinking about him tonight.
I absolutely agree with that. That was pretty rough. I knew it was corn. All right, Judy Ann, do you have one that we're going to lift this show right up out of its gutters?
Which cannibal is in charge of cooking eyeballs?
Well, that's kind of creepy. What have you been watching, Hannibal? Really? I mean, where's cue the creepy music? I mean, do we have any type of? I mean, that's like, there we go. There we go. That's exactly it. That's right.
Which
I mean-
cannibal is in charge of cooking the eyeballs? I'd like to know the answer to that. It's a joke.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. We're going to get canceled. It's a family-friendly show. All right, please tell us.
The head chef.
No, so that's terrible, guys. That's terrible.
Come on.
That is horrible. Man. I've already explained what the show is a million times, guys. Yeah, boy, I tell you what, that was rough. That was rough.
It's scary, but
Jack Paranormal is Googling these as quickly as I say them, and then he posts the answer.
See, and that even gave Jack's
I'm on you,
Paranormal.
Jack. I'm on you, Jack.
Jack's Paranormal, I gave him a headache, he said. I agree. I am so sorry for the pain that's being,
oh my
33, Jay. All right, so tell us another one, Miss Wilma.
What has keys but no lock?
What has keys? And well, probably Miss Wilma's boyfriends, Walmart boyfriends. But,
I have a boyfriend.
so what has keys?
What has keys but no lock?
I'm telling you, Miss Wilma's boyfriends, Miss Wilma's Walmart boyfriends, and now Mr. Producer, apparently.
No.
Okay, tell us, please.
Okay, no, wait. Piano. Come on.
Man,
That
this is
was
rough.
good. That was good.
Thank
Wilma.
you, sweetheart.
Again, this is Senior Citizens Unite over here. That's what this is. That's every time they get together, it's Senior Citizens Unite. I can't help it if
Okay.
the studio audience doesn't like the jokes.
How much do you pay them to boo us?
They come in here. They are actually coming in here. The studio audience, they get a free ticket, and I promise them excellent entertainment. And they get very angry when these shows talking about cannibalism and Wilma's corns and her ears and all this other stuff. I mean, it's not like
Judy and I want to do a favor for us. We would like to have a picture of these audience. You say they're right in front of you.
Well,
we
they're
would
over
love
here.
that picture, wouldn't we, Judy Ann?
okay.
Yes, we would.
I'm in the
Right.
middle of trying to do all the mixing for the show, putting all this together, and now you want me to take a picture as well? Is there any? And quite honestly, they don't want their picture taken because they don't want to be associated with these. Because they don't want to be associated with these terrible, absolutely horrible jokes. That's exactly why.
Take a picture.
Okay.
You
Is
know
it
what?
my
Take
turn
a
for a
picture
horrible
of them.
joke? Is it my turn for a
And I can't because I'm
Horrible
using this
joke.
phone. I'm using this phone to talk to you guys.
You,
I can't
you know
stop.
why you can't take a picture of Bishop Blanc because they're not there.
I can't. Okay, let me go slower. I can't take a picture because I'm using the current phone to speak to you two. Okay.
Excuses.
One day I'll show a picture. Okay,
Oh yeah, you can take a picture.
I'm gonna take a picture too. Yeah, yeah. Next joke. What else do we got? Because these are really rough.
I've only told one joke, and I thought it was decent. All right.
It was, honey.
How can you help a starving cannibal?
What is the hell is with this? What is? What?
Another one, honey.
Man,
How can you help a starving cannibal?
you must be you. Are you trying to tell us you must have been a pen pal with Jeffrey Dahmer or something? I mean, there's something was going
No.
on. I mean, really, seriously, all of a sudden
Yeah.
he's. Yes, I agree. This.
How
All right.
can you help a starving cannibal?
How can you do what?
Give him a. How can you help a starving cannibal? You give him a hand.
Oh,
Almost thirsty, honey.
I agree. I agree, studio audience. I don't know. No, that's terrible, guys. They're not supposed to laugh at that. That's got even you even scared Jack's Paranormal on that
It's
one.
scary, but you know what? It is good. She's doing a great job.
Oh, is she
Oh,
really?
for goodness sake.
Yes, isn't she, Jack?
Well, so in that case, since you love the horror thing so much, Miss Wilma, maybe I'll come over to your house and play Michael Myers for you.
Oh no. I
Oh,
just said the
no,
jokes are
wait a
funny.
minute.
No.
Wait a minute. You're loving the horror thing now, so why not?
Well, no, it's just a joke, though, Bishop Long. No.
I see. You're so lucky that it's copyrighted.
Okay.
Copyrighted.
I love that I'm pushing your buttons tonight. How do you creep out an exorcist? I think I've scored some
By
serious
telling some
points tonight.
weirdo jokes like this. I mean, my gosh.
Well, I have one more. What's Cannibal's favorite food?
Probably.
Baked beans.
Who?
Baked beans.
Oh man, folks. Actually, it's probably Miss Wilma's meatloaf. Now, have you never seen Miss Wilma's meatloaf? Miss Wilma has a very interesting meatloaf when she cooks it. Miss Wilma, why don't you tell us all about that meatloaf? Oh no! We're not changing the subject here. Well,
I love it that I'm getting under his collar a little bit, and I don't.
You're not getting under my collar. I just think you are cuckoo for Cocoa Buffs right now. That's all that is. I mean, I just think.
Okay, look at this picture. Look at this picture. Here's an exorcist. He deals with the worst, most vile things in the world, but he's creeped out by my jokes.
Yeah, because you know why? It's giving misery. That's exactly what it's giving. It's giving Kathy Bates in misery.
Good when you got him good.
I did.
I love that.
This is coming from a person who was in the restroom, right? This is coming from a person who was in the restroom right before we went on air, folks. So she did not get me. I mean, I'm telling you, it's giving me misery. Kathy Bates misery is what this is giving me. All right, now I'm your number one fan. No.
Bishop, I was just going to say that. You're my number one. I'm your number one fan.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to have to.
That backwards.
Man, Mr. Producer, we're going to have to call somebody and get some help over here. That's what it is. Okay, what else do we got? What other fun-filled, exciting joke do we have?
What gets wetter the more it dries?
What are the more it dry? I don't know, but please tell us. We would love to know.
A towel. Gets wetter the more it dries. Towel.
You know what? I like that. Good job.
Thank you,
I
honey.
like that. That was clever because I was stumped. Sometimes I can kind of figure them out, but that's a good one.
Thank you,
Okay,
honey.
Bishop. I'm done. I'm done creeping you out. What do you call a sleeping bull?
What do you call a sleeping bull? I don't know, Miss Wilma. Do you know?
No, I do not.
A bulldozer.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
That was a big.
Now she gets the drum beat.
Sound effect.
She doesn't get a drum beat with that.
Can I hear that? Can I hear that calf again?
The what?
Calf that you played.
It wasn't a calf. It was a buzzard. It was a buzzard that Mr. Producer pushed, meaning
No,
wrong answer.
It was a calf.
That was not a calf.
You better be
I
nice.
heard
I'll
it.
tell some more cannibal jokes.
Mr. Producer, what was that?
Oh, It sounded just like a calf in the barn. Sorry.
That's what
did.
that's
it
what-
really did,
Yeah.
Oh,
Julianne.
for crying out loud.
Mhm.
That is not that's not what a
Well,
calf sounds like.
Listen, it was lower than that and the duration was shorter. So yes, it did. It sounded like a calf.
Well, yeah, poor calf. Yeah, poor calf with laryngitis, maybe something like that. But my goodness gracious, something's wrong with that calf. Okay, so what else do we have for us? Do we have
I wanted to send my meatloaf. You was talking about my meatloaf.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us all about it. This is kind of interesting story.
Okay. I make my meatloaf. You know, a lot of people make their meatloaf in a meatloaf pan. I
Oh,
never
meatloaf.
had a meatloaf pan. But my mom, of course, she taught me to cook, and I still cook like her. So she has this round dish. It's a pretty good sized round dish. And I make the meatloaf in a bowl, mix it all, everything up in it. I put it in there, and then I flatten it around, and then I pour ketchup over it. And then I take a fork and poke all the way through it so the ketchup will seep through it. But yes, I don't use a meatloaf pan. I use a circle pan.
It looks like a meat. Yes, it's a meatloaf cake. That's what it is.
Yeah,
It's a cake.
my sister and my friend calls it a pie.
Right. And the question
No,
is,
it sounds like a very good meal for a man. Are you making that for one of your boyfriends, Wilma?
whoa, whoa, that was a good one.
Okay. Oh my God. No.
That was a very, very good one. Babe.
Do I get a
my
drum
side.
roll? Do I get a drum roll for that?
Well, not a drum roll, but you got some music behind it. That's pretty good.
I didn't hear that though.
I can't, Mr. Producer, can you do that again, please? Thank you. So there we go. There we go.
It's Seinfeld, but I'll take it.
Yeah. So
Oh, my
it's just good stuff.
gosh.
It's good.
But no, I make it just for me.
It's a funny thing. It really looks like a hamburger. It's like
Wilma,
you just
Miss
put a hamburger bun
Miss
on it.
Wilma,
Everybody
I hear that the producer likes gravy on his meatloaf, so you might want to do that next time.
Oh, that is good. Gravy and meatloaf, yes. Have you ever tried that, Julianne?
She said
I certainly
she
have.
said she heard Mr. Producer. She said Mr. Producer likes the gravy on his meat.
Yeah, it's very manly.
Gravy and meatloaf is good, Fish Blong.
She is said that Mr. Producer is the one that likes a gravy on his meatloaf. Hint, hint.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
okay, so that's good that he likes it. That's well done job. Well done job.
And that's, folks, right there is why that's right. That's exactly right. Now you know, folks. You see, you think that I'm picking on her. I'm just telling the truth. So that proves it right there. Proves it right
and,
there.
I like brown sugar on top of it too. You ever tried brown sugar
Brown sugar on
I
meatloaf?
haven't-
on top of it? Yes.
I've heard of that. Putting some sugar, and a few other
I
things.
sprinkle it on.
Okay, I got a question, and this is for everybody.
Because all
Somebody-
her sugar brings the boys to the yard. That's what it's. Ow! All the sugar brings the boys to the yard.
Hold on. Now, I have to ask this question. I want to see how many people in the chat have ever heard of this. Somebody told me that the best meatloaf is when you put oysters in it, and I'd never heard of that. Oysters
I
in your
have,
meatloaf.
honey.
Oysters in meatloaf.
Yeah. Yes.
I
Has
don't
anyone
I don't
heard of
care
that?
too
Has
much.
anyone had it? Because
My grandma made
yeah.
it.
Oysters
Okay,
in
okay.
meatloaf.
Yes, my
Yes,
grandma
I swear.
made it.
Mhm.
I didn't care too much for it, but yeah, sometimes she put that in her meatloaf.
That's nasty. Y'all nasty.
Oh,
Oh.
it doesn't appear to be too popular with our.
Well,
our
yeah.
chat.
I mean, that's just nasty. I mean, even on the other
Mhm.
social medias, people are like, "Oh boy, that's nasty." Okay, so Wilma, do you have tell us? Do you have a article or something?
Why did
Oh.
the son
Guess not.
go to summer school?
Oh, please.
Son, S-U-N.
Yeah. Well, please tell us.
to get a little brighter.
Whoa. Wow. That really upset them. That really upset them. I apologize. Do you have an article you want to tell us about, a story that you want to share, Miss Wilma?
Yes. Almost perfectly spectacle egg.
I'm sorry, what?
Auction
A
for
what? A what?
almost perfectly spectacle egg.
Wait, stop.
Auction.
So, a what?
Oh, almost perfectly spectacle egg auction for $250. An egg brought from a supermarket was donated to British charity with $250 due to an unusual feature. The egg was originally found in a dozen brought from a grocery store in Scotland and was purchased there, and it was 187. Powell said that he bought the egg in impulse after having a few drinks, donated the egg to the foundation, a charity that raised $6,250 for charity. The egg is round, but it looks like a gold egg. It's a picture of it. Looks like a gold egg. It's not white. It's gold.
No, the National Enquirer is probably not the best way to get your articles.
Oh, okay. This is a UPI article.
Oh, is it a what?
UPI article.
I'm sorry, a what?
An UPI article.
That's all you had to say. That is all you had to say. I'm so glad you clarified that. Thank you very much. Well, that was an interesting. So $250 for a stupid egg, right?
Yes.
Well, boy, that sounds like a
the
great.
auction was somebody bought it for $6,250 for charity.
Wow. Well, there we go.
They had auction on it.
They had a what?
They had auction on it.
So, folks, Wilma speaks Wilmanese, and I know exactly what she's saying.
They had auction. They had auction on it. You know, bid on it.
Okay.
Auction.
Oxkin.
Yeah, that thing that people bids on.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Well, I'm very glad. I can interpret. It's auction.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I'm an interpreter. I am excellent. I am an expert in Wilmanese. An expert. So don't worry about it, guys. No worry. I'm sorry. What is it, anesthesiologist? Can you say what? What is it called?
A what?
The doctor to put you to sleep. What's it called?
They put you to sleep.
Oh, you're not going to try it, anesthesiologist?
Pediatrologist.
And there you go. That's it. You are right on that. And you know what? If I had,
well, thank you. I did good.
What's it called again?
Pediatrologist. Put you to sleep.
What do you think?
That their doctor uses that needle.
Was that a right answer?
And put you to sleep.
Yes, that's very good. You got the right answer. You got the bell. Yeah, but now
that's their doctor puts the shot in you.
Yes, he puts the shot in you. He gives you a shot.
And then you're asleep.
Well, I appreciate you giving the sound effects because this is a really low budget show. So we spare no expense on our side effect, our special side sound effects, guys. It's big budget. Okay, it's a big budget. So how does it go again when you go to sleep?
Their doctor puts that needle in you and you go to sleep.
And how's it sound? Now, come on.
I did it, but it's when you go to sleep.
That's why we pay you the big bucks. I mean, come on now. We pay you the big bucks. You are the sound boy.
You know when you
there you go, folks. I'm telling we spare no expense.
You sound the same.
You did it
See,
again.
I have buttons too.
You have buttons. You push my buttons. Yeah, absolutely. Judy Ann,
I
do
have
you
the buttons.
do you have any articles or any stories or any movies you want to share?
I just have a tidbit of trivia.
Oh.
I found this to be so fascinating, and I wondered if anyone else has heard of this. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln was actually a very accomplished wrestler
Yes,
before becoming? Oh, you knew that?
I did. Yes.
Before becoming
Yes.
Before becoming president, he was a skilled wrestler who also sometimes refereed other fights.
Mhm.
I thought that was pretty neat.
Very. Yeah, and actually, as a matter of fact, he was inducted into the National, I think, Wrestling Hall of Fame in the early '90s, if I'm correct. So.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
That was my favorite president, Abraham Lincoln.
Well,
Yep.
was he in Kentucky or Tennessee?
He lived in Kentucky at Hodgsonville.
Yes.
He's got his cabin. His real cabin is in Hodgsonville, Kentucky, and they built this. They still have the cabin. You can go in it, but they got it inside of this great big white building. And when you go there, you walk down these steps, and that's where he got his drinking water.
The little
spring
well
water, and
is
it's
still there.
running.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
the
did an
water is
article-
still run.
I did an article on that for the Standard Bread Journal, and I did not know that. It was so fun to research
And actually,
that.
and
Yes.
he was only defeated once. And it was a competition. I forgot where it was, but he was only defeated one time. And he was actually a storekeeper. And then, of course, he studied law, and he actually served. Well, a lot of people don't know he served in the Black Hawk War. And then he went to the Illinois legislation and then the Congress. So, yep. But he only lost one match. One match.
Now,
So-
I haven't been there for a while, but they had this tree that was way over 200 years old, and they had it wrapped around a chain
Maybe that's what I need to do,
to
Wilma.
try to hold it up.
You know what? Maybe I need to go
Do
on.
what?
I need to go on TikTok. I need to go there. I need to go to because you've been telling me a lot of time going to that Abraham Lincoln thing, and maybe I'll swing over there
Oh,
on a TikTok live. That'd be fun.
And do a live.
Yeah.
I have to say something here though, Wilma. The reason that I stumbled upon Abe Lincoln's place of where he grew up and the well is when I was writing this article. It was about moonshine of all things,
Oh,
and they were
Yes.
discussing the various types of corn and how to get their stills going and all of that, and about the water that they use. So anyway, that's how I stumbled across it.
Now, he slept upstairs, but he drilled a hole in the floor so he can watch his mom and dad downstairs. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
He drilled a hole in the floor because his room was upstairs, like a little loft. And when he was looking down, and so I don't know why, but he sleeping or whatever, but he's watching his mom and dad do that little hole.
very, very interesting. All right, well, we're getting late. Tell us a movie. Tell us a movie.
I'm gonna jump off and let her finish, and then I'll go back to moderating, and then I'll see you when we reconvene.
All right,
okay?
sounds good. Sounds good. Thank
All
you.
right.
Love you,
Bye.
Judy Ann.
John, I didn't
Bye.
like it. I didn't like the ending of it. Okay, so tell us all about your movie.
Okay, this is called Murphy's Romance. It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
A divorced woman and her son moved on an old farm trying to make a living for them. She takes on horses and trains them. And her ex-husband comes and he wants to stay with her. And then he falls in love with her. Now, there's a pharmacist. He also falls in love with her because he buys a horse and she's training his horse. And he also falls in love with her. Now, I don't want to give this away, but this is a great movie.
Very
And
good.
it's James Garner and Sally Field in it. It's called Murphy's Romance.
Well, there you go. Well, Miss Wilma, thank you so much for being with us. We absolutely appreciate you stopping by and saying howdy.
I'm glad I got to be on tonight, and I hope everyone has a great night. And I love all of you, and God bless.
All right, Miss Wilma, we'll talk to you a little later.
Okay, night, everyone. Night,
Bye-bye.
Miss Swan.
Good night. All right, everybody. That was our Miss Wilma and Miss Judy Ann. Yeah, they always like to have a good time. We appreciate them joining us. There was something that was delivered through Amazon. Delivered something. I need to really go get this. Sometimes we have kids in the neighborhood or people in the neighborhood that likes to pick up things that don't belong to them, if you catch my drift. I don't know how to pause this live on TikTok. That way I can go run very, very, very fast and get it. So I don't know how to do that. How do you pause a live? That's it. I've always wanted to know that. I need to know that because so for those of you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Rumble, let it run and go get it. No, I'll be pausing it. So here's what I'm going to do. I wonder there is a way. I know you can. I got to learn how to do that. You can't pause a live. Yeah, you can. I've seen people do it. Pause live. Yeah, there is. So I'm going to pause this live briefly on TikTok. I'm going to come right back because this is an important thing that I have delivered. And so let me do this now on TikTok. So I'm going to pause the live. I'll be right back with you guys. Pause. And I'm going to be right back with you guys on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, less than a minute. There we go. See, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. There. All right. That wasn't bad. Yeah, I had to make sure I get that because that was an important delivery. I'm currently working another case that needs my immediate attention. And so the case file is here. And so I'll be looking at that a little bit later on. All the evidence and sound and video and just the things that we have to look at. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, it was just at my front door. So I had to just run and go grab it and then come right back. It's important. We can't, I don't want certain things, obviously, like that. I hate when they always deliver it at night like this. But there's nothing they can do. It's in Kentucky, so I'm good. It's not a possession case, but it is going to be no question. It's not far from me. It's about 35 minutes or so. It is going to require probably the minor right. Based on what I've been speaking to the team, it's pretty clear. So, but all right, there we go. This is an interesting thing here. I don't know if you guys heard about that. No. It's only about 30 minutes away, 35 minutes away. So, yeah, the minor rite of exorcism. So that's reserved for when you have a situation where a demonic has infested itself within the home, and there's clear evidence of that. And so with this case, it's pretty clear. So, yeah. There's a lot of violent activity. They're seeing shadows. The husband and the wife are both being scratched, actually while they're awake. So it's not. See, a lot of times when you wake up with scratches that your hands can reach, most of the time, there's a term called dermatographia. And a lot of times, like if it's sleeping or perhaps maybe we're dreaming, we don't remember the dreams. A lot of times we can scratch ourselves and then people think, in fact, that has happened. And so have you ever talked to someone who was delivered? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I am in constant contact with people who I performed exorcisms with because they need ongoing, help. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Ghost Adventures. Yeah. So yeah, okay, yeah, we talked about that earlier today with Pope Francis. I have a friend of mine who is in Rome. He is a priest, and there is the last that he told me. This was earlier today before the news dropped that the Pope was in critical condition. I posted it on my TikTok profile, and so he's we'll certainly always keep him in our thoughts and prayers. And so there we go. Well, AJ, tonight we're just doing this is open mic night. And so for those of you who don't, a little bit later on, when we close out the show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch and all that other stuff, then we will go with you guys just on TikTok. And we'll bring up our moderators, and then we'll also bring you guys up too. So if you want to join in the live, we'll bring folks up, but that'll be a little bit later on. Listen, I want to share a couple stories with you before we go into the moderator, about a half hour or so. NASA, this is by TK Randall. This is really, really interesting, and I want to share this with you. NASA is sending a spacecraft to investigate mysterious domes on the moon. Did you hear about this? I mean, we're actually sending spacecraft to deal with this. So over the years, there have been a number of controversial claims concerning anomalous features on the lunar surface. And while most of these have turned out to be little more than pareidolia, pareidolia is, for example, when you see something in like clouds in the sky and it's an image you think is there, it really isn't. Well, anyway, there are some domes that are very much the real deal. So originally discovered in the 19th century by Franz von Grundhausen, these perplexing surface features have been described by scientists as one of the most enigmatic locations on the moon. And while the domes are more likely to be naturally occurring geologically phenomena, as opposed to anything built by extraterrestrials, their exact nature and origins continue to remain an enigma. So part of the reason, I got to do a little puzzle on TikTok. There you go. Yeah, after an hour, you always got to do a little puzzle to keep going on TikTok. But this is interesting. It says part of the reason the domes are so mysterious is that they appear to form a volcano that shouldn't technically exist at all on the moon due to the lack of certain resources. Well, that's interesting. But anyway, now in a renewed bid to solve the mystery once and for all, the NASA will be launching a spacecraft called Blue Ghost Mission 3. Pretty cool. It will consist of an orbiter, a lander, and a rover. It is currently scheduled to launch in 2028. So it says, anyway, that's pretty interesting. People ask me, would I ever go on if Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos contacted me and said, hey, would you like to take a trip to, into the space, nothing in outer space or anything, because just in space, just to get of zero gravity. Well, absolutely. Heck yeah. Sign me up. Let's go. I think that would be fun. See, the only thing that I wouldn't like is it's incredibly, I'm claustrophobic. And I went to space camp as a kid, and I got to tell you something. I went to Huntsville, Alabama at space camp many years ago when it was just starting out. And there wasn't a whole lot there. So we got to use a lot of items that even the astronauts use. And a buddy of mine is actually an astronaut now that I went to high school with. The space shuttle. So we got to go into one of the space shuttles. I thought it was Discovery. It was either Discovery. I'm pretty sure it was Discovery. And it's not as big as you think. It's pretty cramped. I mean, it's the movies make it look like it's this great big huge, and it's not. You don't have. I mean, you're pretty much crammed in there, and there's buttons everywhere. I mean, it's almost overwhelming. It's like information overload with all the buttons and the lights and so but it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I absolutely am planning one day. I absolutely am going to plan to go to Kennedy Space Center. Now, I would be a fat kid in a candy store if I went, because I love space and I love exploring, and just that would be phenomenal. So I am absolutely convinced that I'm going to make it down to Kennedy Space Center. I absolutely will, and I probably need to go down there before the big, traffic, as far as lots of people being there. So I'm going to have to find out when the off season is. I'm pretty sure probably is now, but I don't know. But I'm going to plan on doing that because, and I absolutely 100% will live stream it. And so, well, okay, the firmament. It's interesting you mentioned the firmament. Do you realize what the firmament is? Are you trying to imply that the Earth is flat? Please, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, really, please tell me you don't believe that. Yeah, I know. The Earth is not flat. Okay, good. Thank you, Carpenter. So at least we can. Then you and me, at least we're on that, level, because there's so many people thinking the Earth is flat, and you just what? How do you get that? How do you understand this? Yeah, some people are absolutely convinced that the Earth is flat. Don't understand that. Don't understand. Yeah, it's not flat. No. I'm sorry to break people's hearts, but there are people that they are hardcore. You tell them that the Earth is not flat, that it is round, and they will absolutely look at you like you have three heads. And okay, if that's what you believe, I guess we can all believe in everything we want to believe, but it doesn't make it right. So anyway, I don't know. I don't really understand the flat earther. I don't understand it. So people ask me all the time about, I don't get it. I don't understand why people, are there any, okay, I'm not here to, I don't make fun of people. That's not what we do here. We don't do that stuff here. But are there truly legitimately, are there people are there any flat earthers here? Because there are people that are pretty hardcore, and they don't joke around when it comes to this. They are very serious. Really? Constantine Blair or Bear? Come on, seriously. Okay, briefly, can you tell us why? Alicia, I'm not. Jesus was Jewish. I don't know why people would be hateful to Jewish. It's kind of silly. Yeah, I don't. But there are people that are really serious about this, and that's fine if that's what they want to believe. I'm not going to sit here and. Okay, so it seems like most people. Let's do. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do a quick little fun poll. Yeah, but Job states this, but also we're talking about how many centuries ago. Job wasn't a scientist. They didn't have satellites then. We now know that just because Job makes that type of statement doesn't mean that it's right. I mean, so I think we got to be careful about just because there was certainly belief at that time, but that doesn't make it valid. Now that we have technology, we have satellites, we know what the Earth is. So, I mean, I don't know. So we're going to take, because some guy said it was 3,000 years ago, that it was flat. Well, how can, okay. Yeah, never. Well, anyway, we're going to push on. We're going to push forward. So what we're going to do today is, in a moment, about 15 minutes or so, we're going to bring on our friends, our moderators. Oh, the poll is up. Oh, good. So the poll is up. We're going to do a poll, and I'm really curious about what we're going to find here. So this will be good. So we're going to find out how many people. Yeah, night prayer is Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to join us for night prayer, everybody is invited. We welcome everyone. We just ask people be kind, and that's it. Just be kind. Simple. All right. I can't find this one item that I was looking for. And I hate when I can't find things. It drives me absolutely nuts. Oh, well. I'll look later. Can a woman become pope? No. Uh, not at all, because number one, the Roman Church does not ordain women, so that would not be possible. Now I know some people are going to say, yeah, but allegedly this person or that person was. Okay, so 100%, 45 votes said nope. Is the Earth flat? 100% said no. Okay, so there we go, guys. That's our answer, and we're sticking to it. So no. Well, what do I think about the Pope's situation? I believe he's 88 years old, and he's had a lot of health issues, and so it doesn't. And here's the deal. Even if, let's say, you're not Roman Catholic, that's fine. We can still pray for him. I mean, we don't have to be Roman Catholic to pray for I mean, we should all be respectful and pray for him. I don't know why anybody wouldn't. Some people are like, well, I'm not going to. Well, then don't. But if you don't want to, that's fine. But I'm going to. So I'm going to absolutely pray for him. Why wouldn't I? So the firmament. You got to understand about the whole firmament situation. And according to the notion that's prevalent among the Greeks and even Romans, the sky was a great vault of crystal to which the fixed stars were attached. That's what they believe. Obviously, although by some of it was held up like an iron or brass, and that the Hebrews entertained similar ideas appears from numerous biblical passages. In the first account of Genesis, we read that God created the firmament to divide the upper and celestial from the lower or terrestrial waters. But when you look at the Hebrew word there, it means something like beaten or hammered, like hammered out and extended. The Vulgate rendering is firmamentum. It corresponds more closely with the Greek word. It's something made firm or solid. So really, is when you look at it, you understand that they just simply did not have the knowledge that we have as today, and that's okay. So no, there we go. Okay, let's get into the other articles that I want to share with you, because I have quite a few that I absolutely. So anyway, NASA is going to be sitting something like that as well. I'm not going to do this one. This was interesting too. The UFO situation, it seems really odd. And about 15 minutes, guys, for those of you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Rumble and all that, we're going to go strictly on TikTok in about 15 minutes, where we bring the moderators up and we just chill. We just have a good time. We have conversations. We're going to talk about our favorite television shows, and then we're going to bring you guys up as well, so you guys can ask any questions to all of us. But this is by TK Randall. Tim Burchett states that an underwater UFO moved at hundreds of miles per hour. So he says something anomalous is thought to be frequenting our oceans, and we still have no idea exactly what it could be. While unidentified aerial vehicles have been getting a lot of press in recent years, U.S. Navy witnesses have also reported another phenomenon, an underwater aerial vehicles that seem capable of traveling at immense speeds, and that can sometimes even transition into the air, and vice versa. So speaking in an interview recently with former Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz, Republican Tim Burchett, who has long maintained that the U.S. government is withholding information on UFOs and alien visitors, described something that a U.S. Navy admiral had allegedly told him. Quote, "They tell me something's moving at hundreds of miles an hour underwater, as large as a football field underwater." Now look, if there's an object that they're seeing that is as large as a football field, and it is moving hundreds of miles an hour, we don't have technology like that. This was a documented case, and he says, "I have an admiral telling me this stuff." He said, despite the implications of such sighting, however, Burchett isn't too worried. He says, "I'm not worried about alien visitors harming me," he said. "I mean, with that capabilities, they would have barbecued us a long time ago." Officially, the Pentagon, which has been investigating UFOs for years, does not acknowledge the existence of alien visitors. And last year, a formal report into the phenomenon concluded that there was no concrete evidence and that most UFO sightings have conventional experiences or explanations. Well, I mean, I do believe there's something there. Yeah. I've talked about this, guys. Look, matter of fact, well, many years ago, before I even went to the seminary, I was working for an airline. And I actually spoke to several captains that had 20, 30 years experience. And they have absolutely told me they have seen objects, metallic objects in the sky. And see, back then, they never reported it. And the reason is they didn't report it is because it was kind of taboo. If you reported something like that to the FAA, they would put you kind of through the ringer and say, well, are you kind of losing it? Or are you losing your eyesight? And they just didn't want to bother with that. Now they're actually encouraged to report these. We're getting captains on 747s that are reporting seeing these metallic objects flying in the air, moving at speeds that even a 747 can't even keep up with. Huge objects. So people say, well, they're one of those drones. Okay, 747s fly 35,000, 40,000 feet above the ground. So drones that, unless they're military, you're not going to fly that high. And also a drone that has been described as a massive, even a football field, massive drone. These are metallic objects moving at speeds that even the captain says we can't even keep up with it. There are F-16 fighter jets, Top Guns, that have reported these objects flying in the sky, and even our F-16s can't keep up with. So people say, well, it's weather balloons. Come on, or drones. That in of itself, it's ridiculous, because we know that our fighter jets can keep up. So they're really legit. There was reports. There were when they did the congressional hearing, there were pilots who testified. These were Top Guns, that they've seen these objects and they're top of the notch, the best plane that is currently available. They could not keep up with these metal objects. And here's what's really very, very odd. So we now have reports and even videos of these objects flying in the air at very low levels, right above the water, going into the water and coming right back out. And our jets can't keep up with them. And even the computers are having a hard time tracking these things. So these are not drones. So that's why I think there's something here. When you have people like this who have nothing to gain, I mean, they're not selling a book, they're not trying to do television, they're reporting these things. Well, I think we have to absolutely, without question, we must take these things seriously. And some people don't, and that's their right, but I do. I think there's something else going on. So, yeah. And by the way, I know for a fact, I don't know why they're here. We don't know. I know this was about, I want to say maybe 15 years ago. But this was when I was doing online radio, just online radio. I live in Kentucky, and a paranormal investigator friend of mine at the time said, they called me and they said, Bishop, you need to get outside and look in the sky. I thought, okay, what is this, Independence Day? What do you mean? So I go outside, I look in the sky, and I see this. And again, I'm familiar with aircraft. I see this massive metallic object with a light going very fast, making no noise. There was no noise. There was no engines. There was no APU. You couldn't hear anything. There was no auxiliary power unit. There was nothing. And it was going very fast. And there was a Louisville Metro Police Department helicopter flying right behind this thing, and it couldn't keep up. I mean, it was flying fast. And then it slowed down, and the helicopter kind of was hovering behind it, and it was shooting out these red orbs. And we immediately went right back into, online and started telling people what we were seeing. But it was pretty cool because I think it might have been a year later. I was flipping through the channels, and I can't remember what network it was on, but there was a show that interviewed the pilots on this helicopter for the Louisville Metro Police Department chasing this object, and they even said they could not keep up with it, and they don't know what it was. They said it was metallic. They have no idea what it was. So that's, I don't know. It was very, very interesting. So I don't know. There's just too many people. There's too many people seeing this. This is an interesting, let me tell you about this one. For those of you who are in West Virginia, absolutely. God, all created things are created by God. So do you guys understand that how large our solar system is? Just our solar system. Do you realize how small we are compared to the universe? If you were to compare our solar system with the universe, it would be like having the smallest pebble and throwing it into the Atlantic Ocean, and the Atlantic Ocean representing the universe, and the pebble representing our solar system, and throwing it into the ocean. That is how small we are. But yet our solar system is so big that if you were to travel 42,000 miles per hour, a rocket to get to Jupiter, it would take you 10 years. That is how huge just our solar system is, and yet our solar system is minuscule, very small. So there are so many things out there we just simply do not know. And I think that's why I love the supernatural and the paranormal, because there are things that we don't know. Bigfoot. Now, people make fun of me and talk, okay, fine, I don't care. I've talked about this before, I had a game warden, an Alaska game warden on my show, maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago or so. And he was a native Alaskan, grew up in the woods all his life. And he was a game warden. And I asked a blunt question. And he absolutely was convinced he saw Bigfoot. And my question was, could you be mistaken for a bear or a moose? And I'll never forget, and I've said this many times before, he said, I'm a native Alaskan, I've lived in the woods, and I am a game warden. If I don't know the difference between a bear, a moose, and a bipedal creature that stands 8 feet tall, then I should not be a game warden in Alaska. And he was right. He's not selling a book. He's not trying to get on television shows. And that really opened my eyes to, well, maybe this stuff is real. So that's another thing that I would like to do. I would like to bring on an expert, not somebody who does this, who just likes it, likes Bigfoot, and they kind of talk about it. No, I want somebody who is an expert on Bigfoot investigating. I absolutely would love to have that. There's a lot of people. Let me just tell you guys, well, tonight just open mic night, but let me just say this, guys. There's a lot of people who are telling things about demonology online. And I'm concerned about that because they're armchair. I don't even really call them demonologists. They go onto Reddit or they go on YouTube. They regurgitate basically what they read or watch. They've never worked cases a day in their life. And yet they're acting as if they're experts in demonology. That's a problem, because there's a lot of things that people are teaching that are completely inaccurate, 100% inaccurate. And so you got to be careful when you go on the social media and people are talking as if they're these experts. They never talk about working cases ever. You never ever hear them talking about working cases. They just go online and talk about demons or the paranormal. But you think, well, when's the last time you've actually investigated? So yeah, we did jokes earlier. So it's just kind of one of those things. So no, I'm not familiar with Chris, but I would like to have an expert on with Bigfoot. That would be pretty cool. You can go to usocc.org. All right. So anyway, TK Randall writes this. Brittany Keller had been driving through the park recently when she spotted something she'd never seen before. She said footage of the sighting which was recorded on October the 24th, shows a small, four-legged animal with a pointy face and a long tail, prompting some heated debate over what species it could possibly be. Keller, who'd been driving to work at the time, couldn't believe what she was seeing when the mystery creature appeared next to a small herd of deer at the side of the road. She said, "I realized that it was something I'd never seen before," she told WSAZ. The mystery would go on to generate a great deal of interest on social media, with some users suggesting that the animal could be a type of lemur, a species native to the island of Madagascar, which is situated about 9,000 miles away off the coast of Africa. Now, wildlife expert Andy McKee, however, believes that the most likely explanation is that the mystery creature is a fox with mange. And I kind of agree with that. It says a type of contagious skin disease known to affect some types of wild animal. So you can actually Google, you can go on YouTube and you can look at this. I watched the video. I think that this is a fox, and I agree with them. It's a type of mystery animal in Ritter Park, Ritter Park. And I think that's what it is. It certainly looked like it to me. I'm not an expert on animals, but I know certain. So anyway, you can take a look at that if you like. For those of you who, of course, are listening to this podcast, I want to say good night to you guys. Yeah, so we that's our outro that we play on our podcast. So all of our presentations, by the way, they are all podcasted, except for our night prayer. Our night prayer is not podcasted, but everything else is. So if you want to join us, you're more than welcome to. We would love to have you guys. So I'm going to open mic night, and we're going to publish this. For those of you on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Rumble, I invite you guys to head on over to our TikTok page, because what we're going to stay on TikTok for a little bit longer, and we're going to bring on our moderators here pretty soon, and we're just going to have a good conversation. Just chill out. This is a chill out night, guys. That's normally anytime I ever come on, I always have something very structured. And here's what's interesting. I've noticed that a lot of people, when they go live, a lot of times they don't have anything organized. They just kind of come on and look at the camera and talk to people, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But every time I come on, I always have something prepared, a lecture, whatever it might be. Same thing with Bible study. It's a lecture, I teach. Friday night, we always do a lecture and we teach. Night prayer, it's always a homily and we're praying. But open mic night is the only time where we just chill, where we just have a good time and we're just chilling out and enjoying ourselves. We enjoy ourselves otherwise, but this is the only time we do this. So what I'm doing now is I'm getting ready to upload our podcast so you can take a look at this or listen to it later. It's all podcasted for you. So for those of you who are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Rumble, and Instagram, and all that other stuff, I invite you to come on over to TikTok, and hopefully we'll see you over there. Don't forget, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Bible study. Everyone's invited, and we're hoping that you will join us there. Until then, remember, your value does not decrease based on someone's inability or refusal to see your worth. You're priceless. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And come on over to TikTok, and we'll see you guys over there.